What exactly do you understand by this term biodiversity hotspot? Maximum species variety. Okay. More. What is a hotspot? So the free internet that we receive. Yeah, that too is a hotspot, but still, what exactly a hotspot is? The term itself suggests hotspot. That means something of enormous importance or something of enormous value. And when this something of enormous importance or enormous value is seen in terms of biodiversity, it becomes a biodiversity hotspot. That means a particular specific area which is really very important for environment, for nature, we call it as a biodiversity hotspot. But the problem is, every place it cannot be called as. See, every place has got its own importance, has got its own values. But there are a few places, there are a specific areas where we have to search for specific parameters, and if those parameters are being met, only in that condition, only in that scenario, we will claim that particular place to be a biodiversity hotspot. Generally, it is seen that there are two different parameters which are used for determining a particular place as a biodiversity hotspot. Now, what are these two important parameters? Okay, the first parameter that we see around us is that a particular place can be called as a biodiversity hotspot if the place has got over 1500 different species of vascular plants. Vascular plants, that means complete vascular system has to be developed, and I am talking about angiosperms. I am not talking about pteridophytes, I am not talking about bryophytes, I am not talking about gymnosperms. I am directly saying 1500 different species of vascular plants. That means the plants or trees who have a fully developed and functional vascular system. Now, the vascular system in plants, it refers to presence of number 1 xylem and number 2 is phloem. Now, xylem is used for carrying water transport, whereas phloem is considered for the transport of food. Okay, so 1500 different species of vascular plants. Number 2 condition. Either of the conditions must meet, not both, but either of the conditions. Number 2, the second condition says any place where 70% of the natural or 70% of the natural habitat has been destroyed. We have one particular place and 70% of that place has been destroyed by us, by human activities. Now, that particular place needs immediate attention. So, in order to provide that immediate attention to that particular place, we will make it as a biodiversity hotspot, irrespective of whether that particular place had 1500 or has 1500 different species of plants, vascular plants or not, it doesn't matter. The second condition is just simple. If there is a deterioration of 70% in the ecosystem, then it automatically qualifies to become a biodiversity hotspot. Okay, now these things are pertaining to land matters. Do we have anything specific for water? But wetlands, are they biodiversity hotspots? No, they are not. Wetlands, great importance, yes, but they are not biodiversity hotspots. Mangroves, again, no. Western Ghats nahi beta. Western Ghats, they are a biodiversity hotspot and they are known for what? They are known for the 1500 वाला criteria. Okay? Either one of them. दोनों में से कोई भी एक लगना चाहिए. Not both. दोनों में से कोई भी एक सेट हो गया ना? Okay, it would qualify as a biodiversity hotspot. बताइए. Okay, there is an institution which is known as Hope International. It has got the responsibility of allocating the marine biodiversity hotspots. Marine biodiversity hotspots भी होते हैं. ठीक. So what are the total number of biodiversity hotspots in India and in world? भारत में, that is in India. Areas rich in biodiversity. Yes, Aditi, absolutely. How many? कितना? 32. 36. गूगल करता है यार, यहाँ पे बैठा हूँ यार, एटलीस्ट डोंट डू दिस. हमसे बेहतर बता देगा क्या वो? ओके, देखो, गूगल एंड ऑल प्लीज वंस द क्लास इज ओवर. इट सीम्स लाइक डिसरिस्पेक्ट. यू आर नॉट ट्रस्टिंग द डेटा दैट आई एम ऑफरिंग. इतना प्लीज आप लोग इतना एहसान मुझ पे करिए, ठीक है? ये मत करिए. घर पे जाकर के अगर कुछ गलत होगा तो अगले दिन आकर के बोलना, सर आपने गलत पढ़ाया. ऐसा होगा नहीं, बट स्टिल you have a total of 36 biodiversity hotspots all across the globe. And when we are talking about India, again India को लेकर के confusion है. आपका Google यहाँ पे confusion कर देगा, वो आपको सही नहीं बताएगा, मैं बताऊंगा. What happens is, whenever this question is asked, how many biodiversity hotspots in India? So first you give me your answer. 4. कितना? 4. Anyone with 2? Anyone with 2? कोई भी नहीं. मेरा क्वेश्चन ढंग से सुनो दोबारा. हाउ मेनी बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट्स इन इंडिया विद इन द टेरिटरी, जो इंडिया के हैं पूरे के पूरे? What are the total number of biodiversity hotspots which are present only and only in territory of India? You have 2 biodiversity hotspots which are present within and only in territory of India. That means you are not sharing it with anyone else. The first one is Western Ghats and the second one is the mighty Himalayas. Okay? अब यहाँ पर इंडिया वाला रीजन पूरा का पूरा मैं बोल रहा हूँ, वो पूरा इंडिया वाला. नाउ इसके अलावा आपके पास 2 बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट्स और हैं. यू हैव 2 more बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट्स other than these 2. The first one is what you call as the Sunda land. Sunda land pertaining to Nicobar Islands, Indonesia, Malaysia, all these regions. Okay, extended limit, and basically we are talking about marine biodiversity here. ठीक. The second one is the Indo-Burma border. The Indo-Burma border region, that too is also a biodiversity hotspot. Burma, it refers to Myanmar beta. The old name was Burma. Okay? हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल. हाँ, मैं इंडिया वाले पार्ट की बात कर रहा हूँ, सिर्फ इंडिया के बारे में. यस, सिर्फ इंडिया वाला रीजन जितना हमारा है. ओके, यानी कि अक्साई चिन, पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर, और हमारी जो टेरिटरी पूरी की पूरी जो चाइना के साथ लग रही है, चाहे वो उत्तराखंड में हो, वेदर इट इज़ इन हिमाचल प्रदेश, वेदर इट इज़ इन सिक्किम, वेदर इट इज़ इन, तब अब तो अरुणाचल प्रदेश में चले गए, तब तो वो प्रॉपर हिमालयस नहीं, तब तो फिर वो ईस्टर्न साइड हो जाएगा, पूर्वांचल हो जाएंगे वो. यहाँ तक का पूरा जो है ना, सब अपना वाला. ठीक, पूरा का पूरा अपना रीजन. मैं इसकी बात कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि वैसे भी आप समझो, पाकिस्तान में हिमालयस नहीं है, पाकिस्तान में ट्रांस हिमालयस है. ठीक है, हिमालयस और ट्रांस हिमालयस में फर्क है. जैसे हम लोग बात करते हैं ट्रांस हिमालयस का एग्जांपल, काराकोरम रेंजेस. ओके, दे आर ट्रांस हिमालयस, दे आर नॉट हिमालयस. हाँ, अभी गुरु अभी पढ़ना पड़ेगा थोड़ा सा और. अभी ट्रांस हिमालयस पे आने के लिए आपके पास फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे हाईएस्ट पीक ऑफ इंडिया, यार हम तो कम से कम K2 ही बोलेंगे भाई, ठीक है, बट इंडिया में नहीं है वो. पाकिस्तान अभी मतलब है तो इंडिया में, बट वो पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर में है. एंड इट्स वेयर, इज इट इन हिमालयस और इज इट इन ट्रांस हिमालयस? इट्स इन ट्रांस हिमालयंस, ये वाला रेफरेंस, ठीक है, तो इसको भी समझिए थोड़ा सा। चलिए, ओके, प्लीज राइट डाउन बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट। सबसे पहले दिस टर्म वाज कॉइन्ड बाय नॉर्मन मायर्स, ओके, द टर्म वाज कॉइन्ड बाय नॉर्मन मायर्स, NORMAN, Norman Myers. Okay, so please write down. A biodiversity hotspot is a region with high biological diversity that is threatened by human activity. The biodiversity hotspots have many species, including many endemic species. In order to qualify as a biodiversity hotspot, one particular region must meet either of the two criteria. Number one, the region must contain at least 1500 species of vascular plants which are endemic. That means they are not found anywhere else. 1500 different species, and these 1500 different species must only and only be found in this particular region. That means the first condition is they have to be vascular. Along with that, they have to be endemic. That means they are unique only to this particular region. Okay. Sideways, you can please write down what are vascular plants, please. The vascular plants are those which have a fully developed vascular system. That means a fully functional xylem and phloem. Xylem meant for water transport and phloem meant for food transport. Okay, xylem and phloem. The second criteria is the region must have lost 70% of its habitation or its vegetation. An agency named Conservation International is responsible for notifying the biodiversity hotspots all across the globes. Currently, there are 36 biodiversity hotspots across the globe. The biodiversity hotspots in India. The first one is the Western Ghats. The second one is the Himalayas. The third one is the Indo-Burma region. And the fourth one is Sunda lands, that includes Nicobar group of islands, Indonesia, Malaysia, etc.